Okay, good morning everyone. My name's Andy Ledbetter. We're here at the beautiful OCT driving range where our academy is, the Pure Lead Golf Academy. So I'm the director of the academy, and today I have one of my favorite students here, Mr. Tony. How are you doing, Tony? Doing okay? Good. So Tony, why don't you tell them how long you've been playing golf? Okay, and what's your best score? 69. Okay, all right. So Tony here, he's got a lot of talent. He's got a great little swing. And today, Tony, we're going to give you a full swing lesson, okay? Similar to what we do when you normally come here, okay? So we're going to put your swing on video, okay? But first, what I like to do in the beginning of my lesson is I always like to watch you hit a few balls, talk to you about what you've been working on, okay? And see if it's improved a little bit. And then we'll go ahead and video, analyze it on the video, do a little bit of mirror work, and then do a few drills, okay? So, Tony, let's go ahead and watch you hit a few balls, and I'm going to ask you a few questions, but you go ahead and just hit a few, okay? All right, so Tony has very good technique. He's been working on some things lately, so let's see you hit a few shots. No need to do the routine, Tony, just hit balls. Just keep hitting them, okay? So, Tony has very good posture, a good grip, a good setup. You can see nice balance on the finish. That's what one of the big things I see. Go to your finish again, Tony. Okay, go to your finish. Always got to be able to hold that finish until that ball lands. That looks pretty good, Tony. So let's hit a few more. Just keep hitting them. Nice. So, Tony, one of the things we've been working on with Tony is, Tony, remember your setup. Tony's setup used to set up with his hands a little bit too low, and the club would work a little bit outside, and then from there, the club would get a little bit behind him, and his hips would get very fast, and the club would fall behind him. And that's something that's very common that we see in a lot of kids. They have very fast hips. So we really want to learn, to teach the kids how to learn how to use their real power. So Tony's been doing some exercises lately. Tony, show him the one exercise we showed you where you choke down with the leg. You know that one? Okay, so this is one exercise that Tony's been doing lately. Tony, choke down on the club. Lower. There you go. So he's got his toe up there to keep his chest turning high. Wind up, turn, and boom. Good. And that helps him control his hips on the way down. Do it one more time. Good. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to video Tony's swing, and we're going to go check it out, and we're going to see some of the things we can improve on a little bit so we can keep Tony going in the right direction. So, now we're going to video Tony's swing. So, okay, Tony, pick a good target. We're going to go right over the yellow flag here, okay? The front yellow flag. That's where the club on the ground's lining. Alright, so let's go inside and have a look. So Tony, we're in the video room now, and we're just going to take a little look at the swing. So the first thing we like to look at here is the image of your grip, okay? And your grip's looking pretty good. You can see your V is pointing quite nicely, okay? It'd be going at about the right shoulder there, so that V looks pretty good. Left hand looks good. We can see 2 knuckles, so very nice. Good position there. Take a look at your setup now. Okay, so knee flex looks pretty good. Tony, we typically like to see the knees over the top of the toe. Knees could be a little bit more flexed there, but not bad. Typically what we look for though is the back of the right shoulder should be a straight line. The back of the right shoulder should be a straight line through the top of the knee, through the top of the toe. So that looks pretty good. So you can see these 3 points, there, and there look pretty good. So that's something that you usually do a pretty good job of. You know you used to have not enough knee flex, so that looks pretty good right there. Okay? From this side here, feet are looking pretty good. We like to see typically shoulder width apart. Okay? Maybe left foot is a little bit too wide. Okay? And hands to me look like they're just a little bit too far back. We'd like to see that shaft angle a little bit more forward. Okay? We pull up another pro here. Okay, you can see his shoulders are in line with his toes. Alright? So you can see your shoulders are not quite as big as his yet, are they? Okay? So that's one thing you need to get a little bit better. But overall, setup looks pretty good today. I just think, look at the difference in the shaft angle. Can you see how his shaft is a little bit more forward? Your shaft is a little too far back. Okay? And if we look in the beginning of the swing here, okay? Pretty similar, but look how your shoulders, one of your key problems is those shoulders are dropping a little too quick, aren't they? See how his left shoulder has stayed a little higher? So that's always been one of the tendencies in your swing, is for that left shoulder to go down a little too much, right? So that's one thing to keep an eye on. Okay. Let's see the wind up. Not bad. Getting a much better turn there. But as we come down, what's one thing you notice there? Left arm's getting a little narrow, right there. He's able to keep that width a little bit more. Okay? And that left arm getting narrow is because the club gets a little bit too far from the inside, right? So let's go ahead, let's watch you make a few swings here in full speed. You can see Tony has a very nice swing. He's got great rhythm, and that's very important with all players. You want all good players to have good rhythm. Okay. Let's pull up another pro model to look at here. He's a little bit more bent over than you. You can see your posture here is probably better than his, right? But the one thing we see is, okay, watch how, because your shoulders got a little too steep too early, now the club's going to get a little bit too flat. So watch how the club comes down. Okay? See how your hands are a little bit too far behind you? His hands are a little bit more in front of him. Can you see that? And now look at your left arm, how it's a little bent. His arm's a little straighter. So now as we come through, look how that club stays in front of the line. Your club under the line. Exactly. So Charles' club is coming nicely on top of the ball. Your club is coming a little bit too far from the inside. Can you see that? So we still gotta, I think for you, we still have to work on the setup, getting the hands more forward, right? And we have to get that left foot a little closer, and then we have to get the takeaway now with the left shoulder higher and the club more in. Okay, you can see here, look how Charles's lines here match the line on the left. Your club's a little bit too high here. You see that? But much better, good improvement.